You're listening to the Cricket Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cricket Podcast, where England have done it again. From a position of supposed strength at the end of day one, they have shambles their way to a position of weakness at the end of day two. At least they haven't lost. I'm Jack Hope. I'm joined by Ross Legg. Ross, yesterday, lots of jubilation. Joe Root got his ton. There was some good hitting from Archer and Root to end the day. Meant that everyone, from an England perspective, was sort of riding a euphoric cricketing wave. Today, very much the opposite. Even though England did fight back a little bit, last half an hour this time, very much going Australia's way. What's your instant reaction to how are you feeling?
It's kind of like getting really excited to go to like your Christmas party. That's the way I kind of see it. Like yesterday, we're very excited. We've gone to the Christmas party in the evening. We feel like we've had a good time, and yet we've woken up today and there's something that we've done at the Christmas party that we regret. And that's what it feels like England are at this point in time. And what they're regretting is having Ben Duckett in their team. He had the worst performance of an England player for quite a while. But yeah, we'll get into that.
He wouldn't have been the first person I'd have thought would be. Yeah, no, maybe he would have been the first person. He hasn't had a great test.
Two drops out of zero. Like, come on.
Maybe he's not the only person. Yeah, there's
some other people who've disgraced themselves at the Christmas party. They've been involved in it. Yeah, I like it.
What kind of disgrace are you talking here?
Maybe a choice comment whilst drunk. Maybe a bit of a bad move in the smoking area in the club. I don't know, Jack. I don't know what 2025 bad looks like. Christmas party these days.
People
like,
even have
20 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago. There's all kinds of bad things happening. 2025, I reckon they're pretty vanilla.
People don't know how to live anymore today. That's the problem.
Yeah, people don't know how to push the boundary on a good time.
Yeah, exactly. The world is too tame.
It's too sanitized, isn't it?
It's too woke. That's what we're saying. Look, before we get going, make sure you click like and subscribe to the Cricket Podcast. We're chasing Shane Warne on Spotify reviews. This is the thing that we're aiming for at the moment. We're into the 670s, maybe into the low 680s at this point. If you have Spotify, even if you don't regularly listen to the show on Spotify, why don't you head over there, leave us a review? I think you don't even have to type anything. You just click a number of stars, obviously 5. And help us catch Warne by the end of the series. That's our current ambition. Ross, there's no Max yet. He said he might join us. We'll see what happens. You're going to have to summarise today's play.
Okay. It's not going to be as eloquent as Max because you can summarise it actually quite quickly, really, because England succumbed to a Marnus Labuschagne wonder catch, which turned out to be the second best catch of the day, which no doubt his ego will be pretty distraught as. England started off badly. They dropped, Jamie Smith started off badly. He dropped Travis Head. Travis Head then set the tone with Jake Weatherald up front, and it was all looking rather ominous for England. And they chipped away at some wickets here and there. Jofra Archer proving how important he is to this England lineup. But unfortunately, the runs kept on coming for Australia, and the drops kept on coming for England. And whilst none of the Australian batters have made it to the promised land of 100, each of them have actually got a start, and in some cases gone on a little bit further than that. So England, unfortunately, and I'm going to cough here, Jack.
Oh, well, that's a well-timed cough. Keep going.
Yeah.
Back to Ross.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. The remnants of COVID from last week, sorry. But, yeah, England didn't do themselves any favours. Ben Duckett dropped Alex Carey first ball. Will Jacks then took an unbelievable catch, got one-handed behind himself to dismiss Steve Smith, and then normal service was resumed. Unfortunately, Josh English was dropped at, third slip, I think it's fair to say, where Duckett's kind of standing.
Third slip gully.
A few balls went through the gaps as well. England's field placements were very questionable, it's fair to say, thinking that Nisa was like Brian Lara. And not the number 8 that he's coming in as. England have now been in a position where Australia have got a 30-run lead, I think it is. Just about
44 runs. You're living.
runs.
You're on the copium there, Ross.
I am, yeah.
44 runs.
And
it's worse than you think.
Yes, it's looking rather ominous for England.
Yeah.
I think also the part, Jack, that should be talked about is that the ball and the pink ball nature of it and the kind of floodlights, etc. Yeah, it's actually not actually that bad this time round. I don't think. Like it's not chaos.
It isn't
which
chaos.
I was hoping for.
Max has joined. I mean, we all like a bit of chaos. I certainly like chaos. Some people like organisation and discipline.
Nah,
and
chaos is a ladder.
No, I like chaos. Max, I think that it kind of is quite notable. What Ross has just said there. Obviously, the pink ball test traditionally, if there is such a thing as tradition and something that was invented like 15 years ago, have been played at Adelaide, and that is a different venue. I think literally thousands of miles away. It's
Australia's notoriously quite a small country, actually.
I mean, I know the climate doesn't quite work the same, but it would be like us talking about conditions in Madrid and comparing them to conditions in Yorkshire, and be like, well, yeah, probably this will be the same.
And why didn't Australia play a practice game over in Paris before their game in?
Yeah.
I would quite like to see cricket played at the Bernabeu. Actually, that'd be quite.
I think it would work. I think it would work.
Max,
now that we've seen Australia bat, I think the question is: was England's 330 par, below par, or above par? And England just bowled so badly and fielded so badly that they've made Australia look a bit better than they are. That's the question. That's the question we've got to get to the bottom of.
Multiple options. Given the number of ducks, I'd say they did quite well. To lose three of your batting order for no runs and then end up with 334, I think England, probably all right. But yeah, in the grand scheme of things, taking a step back, looking at how Australia have batted, I think England were probably a little short. I was saying yesterday before the fun, the antics at the end of day one, that England had basically missed out. Like they had an opportunity to do something quite good, and the way, the wickets that fell, where we put it down basically just to mistakes, didn't we, with the attacking shots off Stark? But the way that happened, it was a missed opportunity. I think from the moment Ben Stokes was in and England were actually looking to kick on in that middle session, when he got run out, that was where it all started, wasn't it? And I think England probably could have been. I don't know, maybe an extra 30 or 40 runs, but I still think Australia have made the most of England bowling like absolute turnips. I don't think England, I think they probably could have got more out of their day yesterday, but I don't think they were necessarily miles behind. I know you had 400 as about par, which Australia looked like.
I didn't say it on the podcast. Stupidly, I should have said that on the podcast.
You should. Now
I would look really clever.
That's why I'm saying it for you, Jack, because you did say
Max.
that, and you did say it in the Discord, which you can join. You said basically after the day's play yesterday that you reckon 400 was going to be about par, and I think Australia, well, they're probably going to get more than that, and that is partly down to England not being able to bowl, and partly down to England not being able to catch, but feels like not a bad assessment of where things are. So yeah, England probably a little bit underbaked, but not by miles, and let it slip with the way they've gone about things today, and is going to give them a bit of a uphill climb for the rest of the test.
I can't actually believe how bad they were. Like they were so bad. But at everything they did. They didn't do anything good the entire day. I mean, like, they get 10 more runs or something like that, and that's okay. 10 more runs with your last wicket. 9, 9. Yeah, okay, yeah, maybe not as good as 10, but it's better than 0, isn't it? Yeah,
better than 8. Take the win.
Will Jacks did a good catch. That was a good thing.
Yep. That was good.
Joe Bashir wouldn't have taken that catch, would he?
No.
Bowling before lunch. was abysmal. I mean,
completely... Brydon Cast encapsulated this, though, didn't it? He was just flayed everywhere. It was. I think you said on text chat, this is the worst you've seen an England bowler perform.
It was all. He was terrible. Then he had one miracle over, and so he sort of dragged it back. And now you're looking at Archer and Atkinson bowled okay. They didn't bowl well, but they bowled. They looked like they should be playing Test cricket. Virtually everyone else looked like they shouldn't be. They couldn't field. They couldn't bowl. The captaincy was sort of midweight. They couldn't get through the overs on time. They didn't. There's not really anything positive you can say.
Not many redeeming features.
Yeah, like no one got injured. That's sort of a plus. I mean, like maybe if you're incredibly generous, you'd say, "Oh, the England bowlers generated enough chances to bowl Australia out," but the drops let them down. I'm not actually even sure they did. Right? I'm not even sure England bowled well enough to generate those chances. I think at a certain point, it was basically like watching a charity match for the first 30 overs. There was just nobody bowled a single good ball, a single good over. They didn't string anything together. The plans were all over the place. And I think the Australians, basically because of the lack of it was like watching the cricket that's going on in the Middle East at the moment. What's that called?
The
IL. But nobody is playing with any level of intensity whatsoever. That was what England were like. And I think Australia were just like, well, if this is what we're doing, then maybe we'll play some crazy shots as well. I know that not on the TNT commentary, but I know on the Australian commentary there was a sort of fairly dim view taken of Labuschagne and Green's wickets in particular, which were very English, let's say, in the style of dismissal.
I've seen Brydon Cast bowl doing exactly the same thing as what Cameron Green did.
I think what I'm getting at here is like Australia didn't even have to play that well to be 44 runs ahead. Like it's not. We haven't seen a single Australian.
Could be much worse for England. I think that is.
I wouldn't. If you were rating the Australian innings out of 10, Weatherall batted well. He had a point to make, and he batted well. Labuschagne got a lot of hit me balls. Steve Smith got quite a few hit me balls. Both of them threw their wickets away. To be honest, Cameron Green threw. I mean, Labuschagne, Smith, and Green as the kind of experienced 3, 4, and 5. One of them should have got a century against that outfit. Two of them should have got a century against that outfit. They should have buried England. England were miles off the pace. And even
England were lucky that Travis Head wasn't batting in the middle order. Yeah, that's why I read the situation.
Even with their lackadaisical batting performance, Australia have absolutely cruised today. Going in tomorrow with 2 set batters.
No issues with the big ball whatsoever. None whatsoever. Like genuinely,
really, really bad. Do you know what it made me think of? I'm assuming you two are aware of the film Titanic.
Of course,
yeah.
James Cameron's
That's one that's based on the moon, isn't it?
Yeah, the mission to the moon. That's exactly it.
Yeah, the mission to the moon.
Tom Hanks gets stuck in space.
Yeah. A woefully inept aircraft that actually succumbed to a comet. Isn't that what we're going with? Is that the film?
No, my girlfriend, she likes the film Titanic, but she only ever watches it up to the bit where they spot the iceberg, and then
she can't take the rest of it.
Yeah. Being an England fan,
too soon, Ross.
Being an England fan, watching England in Australia is like taking over the film from where she turns it off. They've just seen the iceberg. At the beginning, you're thinking maybe this time they'll steer the ship around it. You know, it's right there. They've got a wheel. Go in reverse or something. They do all the things. They hit the iceberg, and then there's like 2 hours of pain and death and misery. And basically, being an England fan is this Australian tour, the Ashes, as I believe it is known. What we're doing is we're tuning into Titanic, 200 yards from the iceberg, and just watching that film on repeat. We don't even get the love story at the beginning. Like
just hoping for a floating door.
It's straight up. It's straight up misery. Yeah, maybe at the end, Max. This is a good point. Maybe at the end, like they don't lose 5-0. Like some of them survive. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Max, what do anyone have anything they wanted to say? I've got some silver linings, but
I think from my perspective, England they have not helped themselves with kind of the approach they've taken in the media and whatever else, and then it's just like, oh, this is going to be great, and it just hasn't been. There was such a flat performance, and it was just so disappointing after you. I mean, at least the England fans that they're having a good time today because they would probably they've got tickets for tomorrow. The game has lasted more than 2 days, so that's a nice thing, isn't it? That's a silver lining.
Yeah. If we want to talk about the rest of the match, we've got a lot of questions about this one from Mr. Nobody. The first question we had in the chat from the average cricketer and a couple of others have asked how bad can this get before this is terminal for England. So Australia 44 ahead, Max. Can you do the sums? What do England need to do? Now, basically in the first 30 minutes of tomorrow.
To be fair, what I would say is that, I mean, we've seen this from England before, right? Yesterday was, it was roller coasters, wasn't it? It was up and down, and it ended on a positive. And you thought maybe you could take that into today, and that's exactly not what happened. But we've seen England be in positions where they look pretty out of it, and some nonsense batting performance gets them into a position where inexplicably they actually could win. Hyderabad springs to mind. Maybe Ollie Pope and 173 doing a ramp over his head to Scott Boland at some point in the afternoon tomorrow, and England end up with a 200-run lead, and Will Jacks takes 7 wickets on a crumbling pitch, and Nathan Lyon is crying in the stands, and the cameraman, cut to him like once every 10 minutes. That kind of thing. Maybe
if Ollie Pope gets more than 0 tomorrow, I'll be surprised.
You're going to run around the SCG with your nads out, Ross, for us. Like now we've lost out on Haydo. But I think realistically, like England could. There is a world in which England actually put on a decent show in the third innings, because there's been a lot made about like the 3 millimeters, the less than 3 millimeters of grass on this Brisbane pitch. Normally they'd have more for a red ball, let alone a pink ball. So actually, it's pretty easy to bat on, especially we know that there are periods of the day with the pink ball where it does actually get quite placid, and England could make the most of those, like they haven't so far. And then the cracks could open up and England could find themselves in a decent position. That is possible, but I think it's obviously very unlikely. In the real world, I don't think England can do much more than take the next 4 wickets for about 25 runs if they want to have a chance. I mean, if you get much closer to 100 run lead, and I think the most likely outcome is that England's best bet is they're 200 all out in the third innings. That's where I would put the top of the bell curve. So they've got to get some work done pretty quick in the morning. But there's a new ball around the corner. You never know.
No, I can't wait for them to waste that one too. Set my alarm to watch.
Harry Brook, can you come in? We need to bowl halfway down. We've got a new idea.
It was. I mean, in all seriousness, I think a lot of the damage has already been done. If they did take a hat trick,
England will be lucky to go to day 4. I think is my view right now.
I don't massively disagree with that. I think because of how long it's taking both teams to bowl the overs, they might hang on.
Also, Australia might still be batting by dinner time tomorrow as well. Don't rule that out.
That's true. Yeah, Australia. Michael Neser over his double ton.
Yeah.
It could.
Why are we so bad at catching?
Ryden Cast is 4 inches
This
short
is a good
than it was
question.
at the start of the game.
This is. I mean,
why are we
they're
so bad at catching?
They could have got away with an absolutely diabolically bad bowling performance if they had taken a couple of catches. I mean, they don't even have to take all 5, to be honest. If Smith takes his head,
they've got the guy with the smallest hands also at Gully. That was pointed out in the chat.
I mean, let's think.
You need a big pair of hands to build at Gully, I'm afraid.
Let's think about it rationally, right? There were five 5 drops in total and 1 Will Jacks screamer. So like there are a couple of those catches were probably tricky, right? So I think you can.
Okay, which ones? We've got to specifically tell us which ones.
Yeah.
This there was
good.
Duckett,
Keepers Union.
Duckett.
Let's start Jamie Smith. Start Jamie Smith.
Jamie Smith. Don't go blow by blow.
Chronologically.
Right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Jamie Smith. He's taken that 9 times out of 10. That was bad.
We didn't take it this time.
99 times out of 100. That should be taken.
That's a catch. That's one. That's one moral catch. The first Duckett one was hilariously bad. So that's 2 moral catches.
It was going so slowly. Like it couldn't have been an easier gully catch.
Yeah. Will Jacks takes
Why did he catch
one, doesn't he?
Why did he try and take it with his testicles? Why didn't he use his hands? He only intervened with his hands at the last second. If he'd gone hands first instead of balls first, Duckett takes that. Bryden Cast, go on.
Bryden Cast was diabolical. That was absolutely shocking. So I think those three all have to be taken, and then maybe the other 2 in the realms of law of averages or whatever. Like Will Jacks doesn't take that often. That's a great grab. So maybe the others you can like allow.
Jamie Smith
for what's a realistic
an international wicketkeeper bottled taking a catch. That's not a good sign for his mettle.
No.
And then Joe Root standing, old man Joe Root's already got 100 runs. Jamie Smith's got 0. Jamie Smith's not contributed to this game effectively. Jamie Smith's got Root. You can take this rather than just move 1 pace to his left and take a catch. Not good.
Yeah. I think basically what I'm trying to say is that realistically, England probably 3 catches down out of the 5. Given the fact that
probably would have bowled Australia out.
So they would have bowled Australia out, and they would have got away with being absolutely pony today, but they didn't. And
it is interesting though that having to take 13 wickets is much more difficult than taking 10 wickets, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, there was a period where it had to be 20, didn't it? Every time England wanted to bowl the team out, so we're improving.
Yeah, it's a fair comment. Can't argue with that. I cannot argue with that. Like they did catch 1.
And what's also bad is that all the England fans in the UK, like we're having a really bad time. The England fans in Australia, actually, good time. Like as in the chat, they're drinking from like 9:30 in the morning. They're in the sunshine. They're having a great time. They don't care if England lose really at the heart of hearts. They spent a load of money to get there, but they're having a bloody good time going down with the ship, right? We're waking up at 4:00 in the morning and being like, "Oh, it's happening again."
I'll tell you what, actually, the
half past. Max, just before that, at 4:10 yesterday, England were 5 for 2.
Yes.
At 4:10 this morning, England, like Jamie Smith had dropped Travis Head. Like it's not been a good start for the England fans in this country.
Maybe they should. Maybe we should just forget that the first sessions have to happen and start from the second session. And I was going to say the day-night aspect of it does make it just a much better product for going to the ground and getting smashed, doesn't it? Because when we go and watch a Test match in this country, we trundle out of Lords or at the Oval at 6:30, and you don't really know what to do with yourself. It's very, very disconcerting. So at least no
one else is that drunk.
Everyone else is finishing work.
A couple of the Australians batted all right. Jake Weatherald, we should probably highlight most of all. I think Labuschagne and Smith did the job, didn't they? Maybe didn't convert. Weatherald, though, did take the attack to England. Got a nice cut shot, hasn't he, Ross?
I've got a question on this one. Would he be able to bat like this with Usman Khawaja? So actually, has Weatherald been freed up to actually perform better because Travis Head is opening the batting with him, and they've got a bit more of an aggressive swashbuckling style, even though they're both talented batsmen? Is it more that they've just got Australia have got lucky that they've ended up stumbling across a better opening partnership than they would have had otherwise?
I mean, that's maybe true.
Are you suggesting another moral victory for England, Ross? Is that
no? Maybe not a moral victory for England, but maybe that so far that Australia have had the rub of the green.
I think England got lucky with Ben Duckett as well. So if we're talking about, they kind of accidentally picked him away, didn't they? And then he scored a bazillion runs, and they were like.
But then he's the reason we're losing this game. So is that luck?
Yeah,
I don't
know. No, he's come back to bite us. So I do. I kind of agree with that, Ross. I mean, I think again, if England are going to bowl like this, it's almost the perfect opening partnership. And I think England probably will bowl like that quite a lot because a lot of their bowlers, the game plan
short and
is
wide.
Well, it's to try and bowl a wicket ball every ball, and that isn't always
if the wicket is caught at point because you've got 9 people fielding at point.
Oh, we've not talked about this. England's refusal to understand that you could put a third man in.
For half an hour. Yeah.
For half an hour. It was for hours and hours. Hours and hours. Yeah, that was mystifying. What I don't know. Someone joked in our Discord, which you can join, patreon.com/cricketpod, that maybe no one in the England team can count to 2. So can count to 3. Sorry, the highest they can count is 2. So they couldn't.
And they're confused about where second man's is supposed to go.
Yeah, they didn't know where to put third man. That was
pretty tragic.
But you can't really emphasize enough. I think what I was saying earlier is true. If you bowl that badly, what has happened today is the minimum you deserve. But they have got away with it to some extent to actually have the chance to go to bed, come back tomorrow, and maybe clean up the Australians for 20 more runs, and then you need one good partnership to theoretically kind of be back in the game. Like, do I think that will happen? No. As I said on yesterday's podcast, I believe Australia are. I thought they were favourites at the end of yesterday. I think they're massive favourites now. But it could have been 380 for 3 or 380 for 4. And it wouldn't have been a massive disservice to how England have bowled.
It's quite nice not seeing David Warner plunder a century, because that's exactly what would have happened today. And we would have been sitting here. Have you also seen David Warner's get-up at the moment of what he's wearing on television? He's fedora and like suits that are too big for him. So even though he's got all of the money that you could possibly want,
he's doing like Indiana Jones cosplay.
He's not getting any of his clothes tailored, and so literally, like, his wife must be dressing him or something like that, and be like, "You look nice in that, darling." And then he's picking his own hat. It's absolutely like it's not what a grown man should be doing.
Beaver.
He's the only person who looks to Matt Hayden for style advice. This is sort of why I say. Look, we've got a couple more things to do. There were no more England Ducks today, which is good. And bad because it means that they didn't have the chance to bat, but so that the England stay on 9.
There was a reverse duck, I suppose. If a 5 for counts as kind of equivalent to 100, then going for 113 runs in 17 overs is probably akin to a duck, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's
Duckett technically got 2 ducks in the game from that logic, because he dropped Carey on a duck and got a duck himself. So
was Inglis on a duck when he dropped him? No, that was
21
later, wasn't it? Yeah. Heroes and villains then. Max, any heroes from today's cricket?
Will Jacks's catch, probably about as much as I can think of from an England point of view.
He's not contributing with the ball though, is he?
No. Still time though. Still time. I think from an Australian point of view, I think it'd be tough to single out a hero from that lineup, because everyone probably did actually worse than they should have, apart from Jake Weatherald. So I will go with Will Jacks.
I think Weatherald deserves some hero points. Ross declared his career over after 2 balls of the first
when he fell over. Do you come back from that? But I don't think you do. Oh no, you do. It's fine.
Yeah. And he's come back in the next test, made you eat your words, Ross. So I would say Weatherald the hero of the day. Can't give it to any of the English players, or anything
Villains,
to do
however.
with England in general. There's a funny KFC advert. I saw that, and I like KFC. So for people in Australia.
The man of poor taste, that is right there.
KFC is vastly underrated, I would say. Vastly underrated.
Very, very low on the list of good fast food.
Really? Well, look, I'll put you out for KFC.
Oh, KFC's top.
KFC burgers, absolutely top. I'm not so fussed about the hot wings, but burger.
I see. I'm big on the hot wing. I'm big on the hot wings.
Right.
But there you go.
Right, look, it's got something for everyone. KFC, the hero of the day. Jake Weatherald second.
KFC match hero.
The KFC The KFC advert is basically taking the piss out of Lord's members. I kind of like, this. We're going off on a tangent, so we don't have to talk about the cricket anymore. I kind of like how through advertising you get a window into how the rest of the world does see England, and Australians apparently do think all English people are Lord's members, when in actual fact most people in England are just regular KFC loving folk. We're not that bad. Ross, any heroes?
Normal innocent men is what's going through my head now.
Just innocent.
Any heroes, Ross?
No, not from my perspective. Unfortunately,
Okay,
it was an absolute drab day. I mean, the TNT commentary is not getting any better, is it? Like normally, when you do things for like days on end, you get better at stuff. Like you're practicing more. You're like, I
understand. Astounding, isn't it? Yeah.
It is getting worse. It is getting worse.
Actually, because my watching schedule at the moment often starts with watching a bit on my phone on silent in bed because I don't want to wake my wife up at stupid hours in the morning. And then she wakes up and I turn the commentary on, and literally yesterday I just said out loud, I forgot how fucking bad this commentary was. Like, just it's
morning, darling.
It's mystifying. Yeah, literally. Yeah. She loves this time of year. They spent a long time today looking at people in the crowd on their phones, and because some of them were young, ruminating about whether there was anything good on TikTok. That was good. I enjoyed the lack of understanding of anything modern from that comment.
Right. Any other villains?
Ben Duckett.
Jamie Smith.
We've discussed it. Duckett and Smith is
at least Carty redeemed himself. You could see that he like Ben Duckett. Like, is he even on the same planet? Like, what is he doing? Like the Alex Carey drop. The Alex Carey drop genuinely is one of the worst drops I've seen in. Like sometimes you watch like professional sport and you're just like, oh right, well I do that at the weekend sometimes, but I'm absolutely awful at cricket. Right? You can be like, okay, Ben Duckett should not be dropping 2 catches like that and getting it up. Like he's a professional athlete. Like it is terrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Silver linings. It made it to day 3, and sometimes it does get easier to bat in Brisbane. Like it's not. Yeah, I'm not saying it will, but if we're looking for a silver lining, there's one. So there you go. Do we have any questions that anyone saw in the chat that they want to touch on before we wrap up?
No.
All right,
all good.
Thanks very much for listening and watching.
We'll be doing it live from a football changing room, I think.
I think that's going to be the case, or it might be a car. We'll try our best. Early kickoff for Ross and I, so we'll be at the Tooting Mitcham Football Stadium car park, reporting to you live.
Sounds like you're inviting someone to have a scrap there. We'll be at the Tooting Mitcham car park. So you're there.
Any Australian?
Bring your knuckle dusters.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Thanks very much for listening and watching. Do make sure you click like and subscribe on whichever platform you're listening or watching on. We've got lots of people mainly laughing at us, I think, on the YouTube chat, which we're there for. Bring it on. And head over to Spotify. Leave us a review. We're chasing Shane Warne, and we want to catch him by the end of the series, because then we'll have something to celebrate besides the 5-0. 5-0 is on.
5-0 is streaking ahead as the most likely outcome at the moment.
Yeah. Cummins is going to come back rested for the next test.
This is it.
He
Right?
can't wait to
England's bowlers are all about to fall in a heap. England's only chance of winning anything is probably Jofra Archer playing every single test, which is going to be a foolish errand. And we've got Cummins and Hazelwood to welcome back to the fray in a few weeks' time. So England are on the ropes.
There's blood in the water as well. They know. If I was an Australian not playing in this test,
blood in the water and 2 great white sharks coming back.
I would be so excited about the prospect of coming back, England 2-0 down, playing cricket like they are. It's just, it's like highlight reel stuff, isn't it? They're probably going to sleep dreaming about the YouTube highlights package that Cricket Australia are going to put together when they return to the side. Anyway, thanks very much for listening and watching. Bye.